Similar to algebra tiles, Algebra Lab Gear has three fundamental blocks: a 1x1 block, a 1x block, and an x block. And similarly, we can do the same sorts of maneuvers, creating rectangles. And in this case, we're looking at 6x squared plus 8x plus 2. And we have dimensions of x plus 2, or I'm sorry, 2x plus 2, and 3x plus 1. So very similar to algebra tiles. However, what's different with the Algebra Lab Gear, unlike algebra tiles, Algebra Lab Gear uses position to determine positive, negative, not color. So for example, this block being placed on top of another block is actually representing a negative x. It's almost like that block is taking away some of the foundational area, what's on the very first level. So, with that being said, this particular configuration, or this collection of blocks, represents 4x squared minus 12x plus 5. As I begin to rearrange pieces to try to create a rectangle, I notice that I am almost able to do this. I just have a little bit of problem because I've got this, see, look, I've got almost a rectangle here, right? I've almost created this rectangle right here. But I've got this extra piece. So this configuration isn't going to work. Let me see. Let me try something else. Let me start rearranging these blocks. Maybe I can do it a different way. So let's see what I can do. So as I continue to rearrange blocks, I see that, yes, indeed, I can form a foundational rectangle here, right here. Now the question becomes, what is the dimension of that rectangle? Well, that rectangle, from here to here, has a dimension of 2x minus 2. So 2x minus 2. The horizontal dimension has a dimension of 3x minus 1. From here to here, we have 3x minus 1. So that 6x squared minus 8x plus 2 factors into 2x minus 2 and 3x minus 1. One final problem I'd like to look at, if we look at this collection of Algebra Lab Gear, we see that we're looking at an expression that's x squared plus x minus 6. Right? And so that's what we're trying to factor. As I move around my blocks, I can create a configuration like this, but you'll notice that my foundation here, my first level, is not a rectangle. I have some problems here. And in fact, it's going to be very difficult to try to create a foundation like that unless I introduce some new pieces. So what I'll do is I'll introduce two positive x's and two negatives. So I put 2 along the foundation, I put 2 along the top. And when I do that, I see that I can move these pieces and rearrange them so that in fact I do now have a foundational rectangle. And that foundational rectangle has dimensions x minus 2 and x plus 3. So remember, x squared plus x minus 6 was our original collection. So that factors into x plus 3 times x minus 2. What if I didn't come up with that configuration? What if I put the blocks like this? And in fact, most students recognize, again, to sort of cluster the x squared blocks together and to cluster the units blocks together, forming rectangles out of those, because that's the only way that we can get these right angles on the corners of our particular rectangles. So suppose that they did this. Well, that's not a problem. It means that I could introduce 3 blocks, 3 of the medium-sized blocks on the foundation and 3 medium-sized blocks above. So in other words, we're sort of canceling each other out. We're canceling them out. And I can move those around. And we see that we can actually put these together. So there, that can go there. This one can go here. This one can go here. And so once again, we've formed a foundational rectangle, a first floor rectangle, because it's like these are taking away, they're taking away some of the foundation. We don't get to see that part of the foundation. And again, we have dimension here of x minus 2 and a dimension here of x plus 3. The same factors that we had before.